Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you the basics on contouring and highlighting. I know that it's an art and that a lot of people, including myself, I still feel kind of out of the loop sometimes when I'm doing my contour because I'm like, this is looking like trash. But I hope that the little tips and things that I teach you guys help make it a little bit easier and not so much of a burden for you guys. So if you want to learn how to snatch your face, then keep on watching. Bye. Okay, so let's get started. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it, so I'm glad that I finally am. And I'm going to be teaching you how to contour with both powder contours and a cream contour. I'm just going to be using a concealer. Let's do it. I always like to put my bronzer first. The reason why I like to do bronzer is because it helps it so that when I put it in, I only do bronzer though if I'm only going to be using a powder contour. So because I don't like to put cream over powder, makes sense. So I'll just go in and I'll do my bronzer and fluff everything out. And then when I go in with my powder contour, then that makes it so that it blends out a lot easier and it's not patchy and it looks smooth. So for this time, because I want to show you how to do a cream contour, then I'm going to use this and not go in with my bronzer. So for this look, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Toast. What I'm going to do is take out a little bit of the product out and then go from the top of my ear to about right there. I don't like to go all the way down because then that makes it look a little bit mannish in my opinion. So I like to just take it from here and take it about halfway down and leave it there. Because my face, like, I know you can't tell right now because the lights are coming from up down, and it's creating a nice shadow, but I just feel like my jawline is not very defined. So I always like to go right under my jawline, and I'm not afraid to just go in. Same thing with this side. Once there's fewer product on the tip of the concealer, that's when I like to go in on my forehead. I just like to go right there, kind of just a crown. And then once there's like almost nothing on the tip, then I go in with my nose. So for my nose contour, I know this is intimidating. Even for me, it's still intimidating because I can mess up really easily with my nose contour, but I'll try to make it as smooth as possible for you guys. So I like to start from where my eyebrow begins because that's the point where I want to start the illusion from. And if you feel like you messed, like I feel like mine's kind of came in too close right there, so I'm gonna have to go in with a lighter concealer and fix that. But other than that, I just like to go right under my nose and right there. So then blending this out, first I'm going to take my beauty blender. I always like to do it with the flat edge because then that's going to help me really push the product up and out rather than just like everywhere. So I'm going to do my cheeks first. And with this, instead of just like pouncing it up and down, I like to actually like drag it down. I do this because I'm not wearing any foundation underneath, but I mean if you were wearing foundation underneath, I wouldn't necessarily recommend dragging it because you might lift up foundation. So for this, I'm just dragging, and once I have like taken out most of the product, that's when I start coming back more into my face rather than keeping it out here. But do you see how that's just like making the hollow on my face look good? Perfect. So there's the one side, and I always like to bring it up a little bit towards the temple too. Okay, then my other side. And I don't like to bring it anywhere down here. As you're noticing, I am dragging it up and out, And that's because if I'm dragging it down, then that's making my illusion just like hang rather than lifting. So I always go up and out, up and out. For my jawline, I actually like to go in with something like this, like a paddle brush or even a stippling brush, because these are going to help you really get in and diffuse that line. And then to end it, I like to go in with a sponge. But for now, I'm going to take my paddle brush. And then once that's done, I'm going to take that blending sponge and do one last sweep. And with this, again, I'm just dragging it and making sure everything's blended. And with this, because I'm always so self-conscious that it might not actually be blending, then I like to go in with the side that I did my concealer or like my foundation with if I did my foundation. And then I go over it with that side so that I can get some of that color deposit from the foundation or concealer into it and then make it not so harsh. Back to the flat edge, gonna go into my hairline and always pushing it into that hairline because I don't want it to look like I'm wearing a mask. And then last, for my nose, then I like to take the parts where I have already that color from the foundation in, and then I pinch it and I go right over the lines. Just to kind of highlight it a little bit more, I'll take my concealer, the Wet n Wild concealer, and then I'll go right down the center, like not even that much, I just want to take a tiny bit. And then with my finger I'll take it up and down. Take that beauty sponge and blend that right in, just like that. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the cream contour. Let me just go really quickly over it with the powder contour. So for powder contours, I like to take a brush that's a little bit fluffier, but that has an edge to it. For example, a good one is this guy right here, the Wet n Wild. It's a blush brush, but for this example, I'm going to use it as my, because my other ones are dirty, as my contour brush. But for this one, I love the Kat Von D contour palette. This is her old one, like still on the cardboard one. Now she has like a really fancy like plastic one. But I like to take a mix of the two beginning shades. And for this, I do always tap off the excess. And then I'm just gonna go right over that contour. And as you can tell, I'm not bringing it down anymore. I'm keeping it more just out here in the outer portions of my face, because that's really gonna help create that look that it's like sinking in. And then again up here. And for my nose, I always like to use an eyeshadow brush for it. So for this, I only go in with the very first shade, and then I go on the sides. And as the last step, I always take this guy right here, the blending brush, and I go over my nose contour one more time, because I would hate for it to look harsh at all. Okay. And to finish off the contouring, I think it's important to bring out the highlights again. So I'm going to take my highlighting brush. It's the Real Technique setting brush, and I love mixing the banana shade and this pinky shade. That makes like my perfect color. And I just go right under my eyes. I like to take right under where my contour ended, right there. That's gonna make your contour sink in even more. Like, ooh, yes. And always blend, because you don't want any harsh lines. Even though I'm sure when I'm editing I'm gonna have harsh lines and I'm gonna be like, oh. And then just to end it, I like to take my, that's pretty much it, you guys. So I'm gonna finish my lips, finish my blush, and we will be right back. Okay, you guys, so that is it. Thank you so much for sticking with me and this video. I just wanted to quickly mention that the highlight that I used on my face is the Becca highlighter in Pearl, and that's the glow that y'all are seeing. But other than that, keep your eye out for my, I think I've already uploaded that one before this one, but we'll see. For this look, if you guys like it, then please go ahead and watch it. If it's already up, I'll go ahead and link it up. But other than that, I hope you all are having a great day, and thank you so much for watching, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye!